So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called An American Tale, The Treasure of Manhattan Island. Rated G. I tried to get my son to watch this. He watched about 10 minutes and he got scared about the underground subway with the skeletons and stuff, skulls and skeletons. So he stopped watching it after about 15 minutes. Smart move, by the way. My son has good taste in movies, at least kids' movies. Okay. I got this one because I'm a David Carradine completist, and one of the major characters in this, the so-called Indian mouse, or the chief mouse, whatever you want to call him. He's yeah, that's David Carradine's voice. So that's why I got this. I gave it 1 out of 5 stars. Um, I hated it just like my son hated it. It's about a bunch of mice living on Manhattan Island. Um, I guess they're Russian Jews or something. I'm not sure, but but the papa is working at the factory where he's being exploited by the evil white male swine of a capitalist pig mouse, chomping on the cigar and wearing the top hat. It's really that bad. Um, so I guess they're working too many hours of being exploited, so to speak. I can tell the director is a big time socialist type of a leftist, whatever you want to call him. Um, it's basically propaganda against business people. That's what this cartoon is about. Um, so I guess the Russian Jew mouse, the big fat factory mouse, he's like he's got 4 kids or something. One of the kids finds a map that's supposed to, in the subway that's supposed to lead to an underground treasure. I guess the subway hasn't been used for years, and lo and behold, there are these. At first, the Professor Mouse calls them indigenous peoples, but later, throughout the entire movie, they're called Indians. So the David Carradine mouse has big headdress. He's a chief, and he's a peace-loving guy. Seems like a reasonable guy. Um, he hates Whitey for driving his civilization, his culture, to the underground. Uh, so that's where they hide from modern civilization, I guess. The exploited working class, whatever. So, so that's the treasure. Basically, is the whole so-called Indian mouse culture in the underground subway. Um, and these Russian Jew kid mice. They're kind of like at first they're disappointed that they didn't find the treasure that they were looking for. It was just like a drawing on the wall or something, like some kind of caveman drawing, kind of stereotypical bullshit. And but later they kind of fall in love with the Pocahontas girl, I guess. She's Pocahontas mouse. She just decides to be brave and go to the upper world from her underworld layer. Then the exploiter mice get a hold of this, and then they start like inciting an angry mob to destroy the entire underground civilization of these so-called Indian mice. India is a country in the Far East, by the way, close to China, Himalayas, far away from Manhattan Island. But geography aside and political correctness aside, I couldn't find any redeeming qualities in any of the mice in this movie. And the music sucked. Like I said, it's politically correct bullshit, anti-business, kind of stereotyping the whole native culture, making them into mice. I thought that was a little far-fetched. Apparently, there's an original American Tail movie from 1986, which I never seen, don't care to see. So I guess this is sort of like a sequel. I don't know. I've never seen the original American Tail. But it's a Universal flick, so the sound quality is pretty decent on this DVD. Unfortunately, the bonus features are tailored to a 6-year-old kid. Like playing games with your remote control, stuff like that, or sing along the stupid Dream song. I hated the music in this. Ron Perlman does one song, or he participates in one song, and I guess DeLuise plays the cat. I'm not sure. I wasn't really paying attention to this movie too much. What an awful movie. It's rated G, so you can't really expect much. I mean, it's geared towards kids, but even my kid hated it. So I don't know what to tell you. Dating misadventures. I dated Taiwan lady who's been in the United States for 10 years. She's only 34. She's already got gray hairs and kind of chubby, but she doesn't like the fact. She says she's open-minded, but she doesn't like the fact that I'm Catholic and I have a kid. So she kind of contradicted herself there. And at the end, she said, "I don't think there's good chemistry. Let's just be friends." The typical bullshit at the end of a failed date. Pardon my French, if there are any kids watching. But now I'm talking about adult stuff. Forget the kids movie, okay? So I went back online, tried to find a replacement, so to speak. This Taiwan lady, her English is pretty good, even though she does have a thick accent, traditional Chinese kind of stuff. But then I went back online, found somebody who's still living in China. Her English is pretty bad. She says she's coming here for the new year. I don't know if that's Gregorian calendar or Chinese calendar. So I gave her my phone number. She's also 34, better looking, and seems like she has a better personality. But for all I know, she could be just using me to get her visa. I don't know. Same kind of deal with the San Francisco lady who's 45. She looks kind of chubby from eating too much U.S. food. Her English is even worse. Like Looks like she's putting everything into a Google Translator. And she's probably better looking than 34-year-old, honestly. Um, being a traditional Chinese lady. But it's hard to get a date when there's language problem. I learned that with June Leon when I was dating her. So, anyways, looks pretty hopeless for tomorrow. I'll just be watching Netflix, filling out conservatorship paperwork, and then dealing with this divorce stuff. Gotta do this oral argument thing. Got this letter from the judge that says, you must file a request along with the complete proof of service within 10 calendar days of this notice. Only mailed it on the 25th. Today's the 28th. So I already lost 3 days. I guess it's due next week. Yeah. So I got to use the form, fill it out. I'm sure the other side will fill it out too, but just in case. So I got those two things going on this weekend. Like I didn't have enough stuff to do tomorrow. Watching another David Carradine movie called Guaranteed on Delivery, 2001. It's pretty bad. Then I've got another David Carradine kids movie. He's in a lot of kids stuff. He did some Tai Chi stuff, which I'm not looking forward to. Yeah, so just to be a completist, I got this one because it had his voice, not his image, but his voice. Like most kids' movies, cartoon movies. So, yeah, I really hated this flick. 1 out of 5 stars. Skip it. Can't recommend it. I can't say check it out, but I can't say skip it. So, yeah, David Carradine movies are kind of hit and miss. Either love them or you hate them. There's no real in between, I think. It's kind of a love-hate thing. I think, the stuff from his drunken period, it's pretty good. Around 1990, around then. But the 2000 stuff, 2001, 1999, I could do without. It's definitely the low point of his career after Kill Bill, I guess. When did Kill Bill come out? Can't even remember. But anyways, don't know what David Carradine is doing in this movie. I guess he need the money. So that's the end of my movie review. I guess when you're old, you can't do too many real movies. You got to do the fake kids movies. That's why Ron Perlman and Dom DeLuise are in this also. They're probably like 80 years old or something in this one. So, well, you still got a voice. You can use it in radio or kids movies. Um, Betty Davis used to played in a really good kind of cops and robbers kind of thing. 1971. I love that flick. forget the name of it though. But anyways, she was with Ernest Borgnine. It's a hilarious movie. I gotta give Betty Davis credit for being in a B movie like that. Um, but David Carradine has a lot of crappy movies from this time period. This is one of them, and the other one was called. Just started watching it. Guaranteed on Delivery. Yeah, it's about a trigger-happy rent-a-cop from some foreign land, probably Romania or Georgia or Bulgaria or I don't know, one of those Eastern Bloc countries or maybe Russia. He's got a funny-looking hair helmet kind of thing going on. So he starts getting trigger-happy on these bank robbers. Meanwhile, his girlfriend or his fiance, future wife, whatever, she's like bringing him brown bag lunch. She gets caught in the crossfire. So I'll probably review that one on Sunday. I'm about halfway through. Was it Room in Rome? God, that movie's awful. Lesbian food movie. Terrible. It's by the guy who did Sex and Lucia, or Lucia, or whatever her name is. Sex and Lucia, Sex and Lucia. I don't know. I'm bad with Hispanic names. So I'm watching that one. It's horrible. It's kind of got the politically correct feminist bullshit element to it. So I'll probably review that tomorrow if I have time, if I get through all this legal stuff. Good God. How did I ever get involved with legal stuff? Seems like a never-ending chapter in my life, starting at around, I don't know, age 40. Been going on for like 5 years. What a hassle. But I guess I don't have any date for tomorrow, thanks to the aforementioned language barrier problem. So I don't know. Maybe she'll tell me at the last minute, come meet me at such and such Union Square or something at 11 a.m. tomorrow through her Google Translator. She has. I don't know why these women on OkCupid, they like to contradict themselves. She says it's hard to find love or whatever, but she can't even figure out where I'm supposed to meet her because she's got Englishing problems. Oh well, that's what I get for not having a decent, reputable girlfriend who hasn't been married or kids and stuff like that. I'll just wait for my friend from Seattle to retire in 10 years. And hopefully she can get some kind of fertility treatment at age 45. That's my only hope, I guess. How depressing is that? But yeah, enough about my personal life. I guess I talked enough about the movie. Is there anything else I can say about this movie that I haven't already said? Music bad. Animation, it's okay, but I'm not a big cartoon fan. So it's kind of like a Disney animation, I guess, which kind of sucks. Um, the politically correct stuff really bothered me, and insensitive kind of weird stuff going on with the native culture. I don't know. I just couldn't get into this movie. The cat was kind of goofy, I have to admit. Um, that was probably the only bright spot in this movie. Cat was kind of funny, and it was kind of odd seeing the cat around a bunch of mice. I mean, usually mice run away from a cat. At least they do in Tom and Jerry cartoon. Um, so there's that. Get to see the Statue of Liberty a couple times. There's a lot of silly nonsense about immigrants coming to chase the American dream, so to speak. Uh, so whatever. Um, I just didn't like this movie one bit. Couldn't find any redeeming qualities in any of the mice, or even, well, I guess the cat was okay, but still, even the cat couldn't save this movie. So, rotten movie. Don't check it out later.